Happy Valentine's Eve, but with Friday the 13th on the calendar, love takes a backseat to some chaos on the mat. I'm Dylan Ryan, here with you in Cameron Indoor Stadium as number 8 NC State comes into Cameron to take on the Duke Blue Devils here in Durham, North Carolina. Some ACC implications on the line in this one. NC State sitting solidly in second place in the ACC dual standings, but with 5 of the 7 teams ranked in the Atlantic Coast Conference. A lot of great dual action this weekend. Keep an eye on Blacksburg as number 6 Virginia Tech can lock up at least a share of the ACC dual title by defeating North Carolina this evening. Stanford and Pitt, a ranked dual matchup on Sunday at the Farm in Palo Alto. Make sure to tune in to that one. We're going to take a look at the matchups now. A new look for NC State, Brad Yoakum at 125 pounds, filling in for national champion Vincent Robinson. But we should have a fun match at 149 pounds between Coy Bischens, ranked 8th in the country, and the scrambling superstar for Duke, Dylan Ross. Taking a look at the back half, no Maddie Singleton at 174 for NC State, but we will see the main event with undefeated number 2 Isaac Trumbull, the returning All-American, taking on number 23 Connor Barquette in our lone ranked matchup of the night. It's Friday the 13th, some rivalry wrestling here in Cameron Indoor Stadium. Feel free to stick around. Action is next, NC State and Duke. Welcome back to Cameron Indoor Stadium here between the NC State Wolfpack and the Duke Blue Devils here as a Friday night duel. My name's Dylan Ryan. You can call me Rhino. I'll be here with you all night with our wonderful production staff. For NC State at 125, we've got Brad Yoakum, who's wrestling tonight in place of national champion Vincent Robinson. He'll take on Spencer Von Savoy for Duke. Yoakum, the redshirt freshman, he's from Greensboro, North Carolina, 2-5 on the season. Von Savoy, a transfer from Cal Baptist, the redshirt sophomore for Duke. Good opportunity for Yoakum here, get some dual action for NC State. Coach Pat Papalizio seeing what he's got in the lineup as Robinson gets the night off. Over tie for Von Savoy. Yoakum working this right side collar tie. So we get this kind of feeling out process early in this match. Von Savoy again going to that over tie, maybe looking for a shuck by. Fake from Yoakum. Yoakum circling to that left foot, maybe looking for a pick here. We're about a minute into this first period. No shot so far. First loud Wolfpack chant of the night. Quite a contingent from Raleigh coming in here to Durham. Yoakum's working this short offense front head, and we're going to get a stalemate here. 1:45 left in the first period, 0-0 score. And both guys kind of trading these collar ties and over ties. Forehead to forehead. No leg attacks taken so far by either wrestler. First one there from Yoakum. Down block by Von Savoy. Von Savoy with a double leg. Sprawl by Yoakum. Von Savoy switches to this single leg on the left, looking to get elbow down. Great work by our camera crew there. Von Savoy circling this back leg. He's trying to step over. Yoakum squares. He's got this cross face in. Von Savoy is going to have to kind of knee slide here. Yoakum with that near ankle. Von Savoy again circles. Could end up seeing a stalemate here potentially. They're both kind of working. Yoakum working on this grip of Von Savoy. He's got the far ankle. Grip is broken. He's looking to step over this near ankle. And there we've got a stalemate. 26.5 seconds left in the first period. 0-0 score. That probably should have been a caution there on NC State. Didn't put his foot on the line, but we'll let it slide this evening. 15 left in the period. Let's see if we'll see another leg attack. Over tie from Von Savoy. Yoakum with a little knee drop. It looks like we're going to exit the first period 0-0. First match at 125 pounds here between the Wolfpack and the Blue Devils. Choice goes to Yoakum. He's going to defer. Von Savoy is going to go underneath. Von Savoy with the stand up here. Yoakum chops him down. Looking for this head lever here, and he's got this near wrist of Von Savoy. Goes to a claw ride. This is a pretty popular position now for top wrestling and Division I wrestling. Von Savoy back to this heavyweight style stand up. Yoakum drops to an ankle. Count starts again up in this kind of tripod position. Yoakum reaches over looking for a cradle. He's now reduced down to an ankle. He's going to have to get a return here. The burden is on the top wrestler to return the bottom wrestler. This is a stall. Yoakum's going to remain in the top position, but given he was unable to return Von Savoy after reducing down to that ankle, gets hit for a stall call. Could be an important factor later in this match. We're still 0-0. Yoakum with 51 seconds of riding time, 1:08 left in the second period, excuse me. Actually going to fix the riding time because of the held stall. So Yoakum's riding time is going to go to 48 seconds. Von Savoy again goes to this kind of tripod stand up. He's going to have to peel this claw. Von Savoy is almost out here. Yoakum again drops down to an ankle. He's up over a minute of riding time, and he does need a return, and he gets it. And he's got a cradle here. Von Savoy squares up to his base. He should want to get a restart here. He's actually going to peel out. Yoakum now in a front head. Von Savoy can clear. He's out for his 1:24 of riding time for Yoakum. 32.5 seconds left in the second period. 1-0 lead for Von Savoy. Again, back to this forehead-to-forehead collar. We've been here most of the match in neutral. Von Savoy goes to a right-sided underhook, tries to switch his head back to that near side, and Yoakum clears the hook. 10 seconds left in this period. Yoakum maybe again looking for that pick. I don't think he's going to fire off an attack here. We're going to go into the third period. Von Savoy is going to lead 1-0. Yoakum does have 1:24 seconds of riding time. He's going to go underneath. If he can escape in 24 seconds or less, he'll maintain the riding time advantage, which would effectively give him a 2-1 lead. Von Savoy goes to a spiral half ride here. Gets a breakdown. Yoakum's clearing his hips out. Von Savoy again heavy on the hands. Riding time down to 1:08. In all likelihood, Von Savoy is going to clear the riding time. So he maintains a lead 1-0. Riding time dripping down. Again, another return. He's sticking with this spiral ride. Yoakum again goes to this tripod stand-up. Out of bounds. We're going to get a fresh restart. 1:19 left in the match. Von Savoy leads 1-0 for Duke here at 125 pounds. And goes to that far knee, far ankle, back to the spiral. Yoakum's head is down on the mat. Von Savoy looking to roll a wrist. Joachim looking to circle his hips out. Von Savoy's hooked that near side ankle. Joachim to his feet. Von Savoy sits him down, nearly gets a suck back there. We're under a minute here. Von Savoy looking to try to get a ride out. He's got this spiral half that he's been working most of the period. Joachim clears the half. Von Savoy gets back to it. 35 to go. Joachim again back to this tripod stand-up. Von Savoy gets weight on the hands. 25 left in the third period. The energy on the Duke bench has picked up. A roll from Joachim, and Von Savoy follows with the half. 15 seconds to go. Spencer Von Savoy looking for a ride-out victory here to take this match 1-0. 10 to go for the Duke Blue Devil. Von Savoy's got this ankle hook looking to prevent the roll. He's going to get a ride out here. Spencer Von Savoy going to start the evening nicely for Duke. A 1-0 win at 125 pounds. Duke takes the lead 3-0. Good hard ride there, getting weight on the hands. Stuck to his game plan, ends up getting a 2-minute ride out to win a match. Similar to the way Riley Rowan for Duke won a match earlier this season at 125. And we're going to move to Riley Rowan here at 133 pounds for Duke. He's going to take on Zach Redding, the transfer from Iowa State for NC State, who quickly scores a three-point takedown. Redding's a two-time national qualifier, 7-7 on the season. He's ranked 25th in the country. Rowan bumped up from 125 pounds. He's a redshirt freshman from Perry, Ohio. Big challenge for him against the sixth-year guy out of Manorville, New York, and Zach Redding. Redding this season has wins over Ethan Oakley of North Carolina, a staple, a guy who's been in the top 15 in the country multiple times, now at North Carolina, and Julian Farber over at Northern Iowa. Redding's doing a nice job working this kind of single wrist ride on the near side. Now back to a claw ride, back to the single wrist. He's gonna look, it looks like, for a roll through tilt here. He's gonna come back to the far side, not gonna get it, and roll through. Really good series of wrestle in there, change of pressure. He's gonna get his full set of back points, so Zach Redding is gonna take a 7-0 lead once this wrist is cleared. He is up over a minute of riding time now, a minute 22 and counting. Throws the near side leg. This is just really good top pressure. Rowan, a guy for Duke who's a bit undersized at this weight, as I said, came up from 125 pounds. Claw ride return again for Zach Redding. He's going to catch this foot. Bow and arrow here. This is big, big, big trouble for Riley Rowan. Nice job to fight this off, but this is going to be quite difficult to prevent. Redding's going to have to step up high, and he lets it go given the count. He needed to step up higher, more kind of superiorly over the body there if he wanted to get the turn. Rowan catching a wrist. 30 seconds to go in the period. Redding's got nearly 2.5 minutes of riding time, given he got a takedown in the first 10 seconds. Stall call on Rowan underneath. Got 5 seconds to go in this first period. Redding is going to finish the first with over 2 minutes and 50 seconds of riding time and a 7-0 lead. About as dominant as it can get. Duke gets choice. Rowan's going to defer. Redding is going to go underneath to start the second. He leads 7-0 with 2:52 of riding time. You round up, it's 2:53. inside switch for Reading, and he's back in the top position. About 2 seconds in, and he's looking to step over for this Turk. Rowan clears it. Reading going for this head lever, or Shane Sparks would call it, a coffee grinder. Gotta watch the elbow there on that head lever. Looks like Reading is gonna cut Rowan loose. Hasn't cut him yet. Now that's gonna be one. 9-1 lead for Zach Reading. Back in neutral. And a post low double. Rowan looking to knee slide into it, and a backside duck. Very nice. Reading accruing more riding time, working with this tight waist. He's done a good job of switching sides, changing pressure, not just parallel riding here. He's gonna let Rowan go. 12-2 lead, 3:58 of riding time here in the second period, 25 to go. Reading hits another duck, big lift in return. Huge pop from the Wolfpack crowd for sixth-year transfer Zach Reading, who's up 15-2. He's gonna have close to 4 minutes and 20 seconds of riding time at the end of this period. He's gonna look to actually potentially finish the match here. It's gonna be 2 back points, so he's gonna take a 17-2 lead, and that's gonna be the tech. So Zach Reading at the end of the second period, Tex Riley Rowan, the NC State Wolfpack take a 5-3 lead in this duel. Really high-level wrestling from Reading as he looks to kind of build on his season as he looks forward to the NCAA championships in Cleveland. When we come back, we're going to see 141 pounds. We're going to get a look at Ryan Jack. Back in Cameron Indoor Stadium to 141 pounds, the former All-American Ryan Jack, ranked in the top 15 of the country, comes in with an 11-5 season record, takes on Raymond Adams for Duke. 9-14 on the year, the junior from Merrick, New York. Jack, the younger brother of All-American Kevin Jack. Ryan Jack, an All-American himself. Out of Connecticut from Danbury. One of the better high school programs up in New England. A little bit of action here to start this match. Low attempt on the shot by Jack. Jack started the season ranked as high as in the top 5. Has wrestled a tough schedule, has a couple wins over Tom Crook of Virginia Tech. Beat Jack Consiglio, who's ranked in the top 20 for Stanford, and did defeat Corey Land for UNI. Has prior wins over All-American Vance Vaumbar of Minnesota. Lachlan McNeil, now at Michigan, formerly of UNC, a multiple-time All-American. Good test here for Raymond Adams to see where he's at. Adams coming off a victory over North Carolina in the rivalry duel between Duke and UNC. Nice shot by Jack. He gets to this low outside single. He's going to look to shelf this. Adams with an ankle whizzer. Patient work from Jack. He's looking to slowly pull Adams back in and then shelf this. He's in. Looks like nearly had a cradle. Adams' foot hits the stanchion there, leading to the out-of-bounds call. Minute 14 left in the first period here. 0-0 score between Jack and Adams. Jack likes to look to work off this elbow. As I say that, he goes for a high crotch with an elbow clear. Again, back to that sweep single. Good work to get to it on the reshot. Adams tries to dive under. He's hooked a foot. Good pressure here from Ryan Jack. They give a 3-point takedown there. Curious if they'll talk about this one. No, indeed. Jack takes a 3-0 lead, 36 seconds left here in the first period, 8 seconds of riding time. Adams gets to his feet. Jack with a nice return gets to this claw ride on the right and breaks Adams down. 20 to go in this first period. Jack leads 3-0. Another breakdown from Jack. Good work with this left side tight waist. He's going to ride out this first period. He's going to take a 3-0 lead into the second period with 45 seconds of riding time. Jack defers. Adams is going to go back underneath Jack. Stand up from Adams. Jack is going to cut him loose. He's going to get back to work on his feet. Adams likes to work from the open, goes for a misdirection shot. Good reshot by Jack again and on Adams' left leg with that sweep and completes the takedown. Back into this left side tight waist. Good reshot from the All-American Ryan Jack. It looks like he's going to cut Adams again. He's going to look to work from his feet. And again attacks that left leg of Adams. Really good work to kind of swing that out, get his body back to the outside. Good technique on this finish. That's just high-level wrestling. Smart, patient wrestling. Got to that reshot on the low single. His body was to the inside. Swung that leg out, got his body to the outside, clean finish. Cuts Adams loose again. Adams with a shot. Adams ends up on the wood again, which gets him to a restart, prevents a near takedown there again for Ryan Jack, who leads 9-3 here. He's got a minute 17 of riding time, 52 seconds left in the second period. Jack has really picked up his pace this period. Beautiful low single. Head position, body to the inside. Tom walks him down to the mat and gets to this low leg Turk. Jack takes the lead 12-3. Clean finish, clean shot. Now working a bar ride. 10 to go in this period. Likely going to end this period 12-3 lead for Ryan Jack. He's going to have about a minute 49 of riding time. Jack going to take his choice to go underneath in the third period. Nice, so we can see a replay here. Nice reshot. Kind of scoops that leg. Nice sweeping motion, gets his leg to the outside, body to the outside, I should say. Jacks that leg up. Nice trip, easy score. Really good wrestling from Jack. Hits a stand up here to start the third period. It's taken out of bounds by Adams. We'll get a restart. Quick stand up from Jack. Adams looking for the lift and return. Adams looks, kind of reduces down to that leg, lifts, gets a return. And Jack is out. Good job coming back to his base, clearing out a hand. Minute 30 to go. Ryan Jack leads 13-3. Adams now with a shot to the right leg of Jack. Good sweep single. He's got it elbow deep here. Adams is going to have to try to shelf this. Ends up back in front. Jack goes for an ankle whizzer. Pushes that hand below the knee. And that is a near score for Raymond Adams. That's going to be a takedown for Raymond Adams. Good work, good patience. It's good wrestling from Ryan Jack, trying to kind of limp knee, get the grit below the knee. Adams a bit like a dog on a bone there. Persistent to get a score. 13-6 Ryan Jack. Adams is going to take the riding time below 1 minute. An escape from Jack would still put this in major decision territory. 20 seconds to go. Ryan Jack leads 14-6. Gonna get hit. Adams gets hit for stalling there on the edge. Had been hit earlier in the match. It's gonna be a point for Jack. He leads 15-6. Adams needs a takedown to prevent the major decision here. Jack may look for a takedown to solidify his. Adams getting his feet going. Jack with the half shot to the low single. Jack again attacks that left leg of Adams. Adams in short offense. That's going to be the finish to the match. 15-6 win for the All-American Ryan Jack. Good final period for Raymond Adams. Something to kind of try to build on for the Blue Devil here in the future. But a win to build on for Ryan Jack as he looks forward to the ACC tournament and getting himself back on the podium. NC State, really Coach Pat Popolizio has built this program. You can see these fans around Cameron Indoor Stadium. 4 straight ACC regular season championships. He himself has coached 4 national champions. This is another NC State hammer that he's got. Coy Bizjans here at 149 pounds, ranked 8th in the country, has really had a breakout year for the Wolfpack. He takes on Dylan Ross, who has a nice reshot. Ross has been a really nice surprise for the Blue Devils. The redshirt freshman from New Jersey came into the season potentially 3rd on the depth chart. He has solidified himself as the starter here at 149. Holds a win over NCAA qualifier Winton Dinkins, who just defeated Colin Gage, the 6th-ranked wrestler for Virginia Tech. Bizjans now in on the re-attack as we were scrambling. Bizjans likes that finish. You saw kind of something similar from Ryan Jack, kind of bringing that foot low, almost like sweeping with a broom, knocking Ross off his feet to secure his 3-point takedown. Bizjans came from New Prague, Minnesota on his way to NC State, the redshirt sophomore. He's 18-2 on the season. And it really broke out at the national duels with a win over Casey Swiderski, that now at Oklahoma State, the transfer from Iowa State, former All-American himself. And he's really solidified himself as a young star for this NC State team. Ross gets the escape. It is 3-1, 45 seconds of riding time for Bizjans. Ross steps out of that. That was a nice little kind of outside step, kind of a fake from Bizjans to Ross's right leg. Came back looking for that inside reach. Both these guys are really good scramblers. Oh, nice shot to the dump. This is big trouble for Dylan Ross. In this snake, cow catcher, whatever you want to call it, Ross squares up. We may see a curious if we'll see a brick. I think that's still going to be scored a takedown. The referee is going to review this. Really good scrambling balance from Dylan Ross to prevent ending up on his own back. Bizgens catches this elbow, overhook, looks for this dump, comes up to a seat belt, ends up in this snake position here, and Ross is able to square his hips, square up. Lesser scramblers there end up on their back. This is going to be an interesting call for the officials. Ross did hit his hip there. Never went to his back. It's going to be a question of, did Bizgens have control beyond reaction time? And we see Bizgens here, 2025 NCAA qualifier, as we said, from New Prague, Minnesota. 16-13 last year, now 18-2. 2 losses in the season to All-American Ethan Stiles of Ohio State, Colin Gage of Virginia Tech. This should be a really competitive weight class at the ACC tournament. Gage, the true freshman. Bizgens. Dylan Ross has come on for Duke. Winton Dinkins, a win over Gage in that rivalry match between Tech and UVA. And they do overturn this call. Really where I think, that was overturned is, a kind of point within officiating these days is reaction time. Back when I was wrestling, hand touch takedowns, sudden takedowns were a thing. If you touched your hip, if you touched your hand on the mat, that could be scored as 3. They're giving these guys more grace to scramble out of positions as long as it's quick, as Ross takes a shot. Ross did hit his hip, got back squared up, and the official didn't think Bizgens established control. So we're back to 3-1. 5 seconds left in this period. Bizgens goes for a knee tap, looks for a go behind. That's how we're going to finish. Coy Bizgens with a 3-1 lead after the first period. Action-packed, including a review with 45 seconds of riding time. Ross is going to start the second period underneath. Ross with a stand up. Bizgens with an ankle drop to return him. He slid down that leg. Again, good use of his legs on top to kind of kick out Ross's base. Bizgens now has a cross wrist. Great work by our crew to kind of see some of this mat wrestling. Ross is going to have to clear this wrist if he wants to come up. He has. It's on the edge. Bizgens is going to push him out there. We're going to get a fresh restart. Bizgens with 1:20 of riding time with a 3-1 lead. 1:24 left in the second period. Ross looking to beat this near side. Bizgens reduces and Ross is out. 3-2 lead for Coy Bizgens. 131 of riding. He takes a sweep single there to Ross's right leg. Ross with a very high ankle whizzer. Bizgens tries to bulldoze him over. And that's going to be the score. Ross tried to kind of sink a shallow underhook there. Bizgens just took out his base. 6-2 lead. 45 seconds left in the second period. Bizgens doing a nice job kind of keeping this hip pressure on. Working the right side of Dylan Ross, not riding parallel, being active. 15 to go in the second period. Bizgens up over 2 minutes and 15 seconds of riding time. Nice near side chop. He's going to finish this period in the top position. He's going to have choice going to the third period. Bizgen's going to take the bottom position with a 6-2 lead, 2:25 of riding. Ross goes for a claw ride. Nice job by Bizgen to keep this kind of shallow knee slide, fight hands and get back to his feet. Ross goes for a low double. Able to square up as Bizgen goes for a short drag. Nice short drag by Bizgen, nothing yet. He's gonna likely end up with a score here, and he does. 3-point takedown, 10-2 lead for Coy Bizgen, and he is on the attack now. Cuts Dylan Ross, 10-3 lead. Got 2:18 of riding time, effectively 11-3. Post double, very clean, quick finish. Cuts him again. Bizgen's here hunting a tech fall. 13-4 lead. Underhook throw by Ross ends up out of bounds. We're gonna get a fresh restart, 1:07 to go. Bizgen has secured the riding point. He is up 14-4. Warning for stalling on Ross. Ross again with a low double. Bizgen with a shallow hook on that side and goes throw by. Bizgen is gonna limp arm this left side out, it looks like, and he's gonna end up with a takedown. He could end up looking for something bigger. Could end up looking for a snake or a 3/4 Nelson. It should be a takedown, and it is. Cuts Ross again. 16-5, 10 seconds to go. A takedown would be enough for Bizgen. Ross in on a high crotch, head outside single. 3 to go. That's going to be how we're going to finish. 17-5 win for Coy Bizgen. Another major decision. NC State will enter 157 pounds, up 13-3 over the Duke Blue Devils. Welcome back to Cameron Indoor Stadium as NC State leads the Duke Blue Devils 13-3 as we go to 157 pounds. Should be a fun one. Luca Felix, the redshirt freshman from Morgantown, West Virginia, wrestling at 157 for NC State. Filling in for Jackson Arrington, who's been injured this season, who is expected to be the starter. He'll take on Mikey Bollinger, the 8'8" true freshman from Milford, Massachusetts, for the Blue Devils. Bollinger's been a wrestler for Duke, who's come on, been a staple in their lineup, decided not to redshirt, wanted to challenge himself. And did we get a poke in the eye to start this one? 2 seconds in, got a little official stoppage. While Felix, not expected to be the starter for NC State, finds himself in the lineup, and a good opportunity for him. We're seeing action already. Bollinger with a fake. Felix looking like he's gonna try to attack the left leg, and as I say that, he attacks the opposite side with a sweep to the right. No takedown. Bollinger gets back to his feet again, kind of an example of reaction time. Back about a decade ago, that would have been a score, and now with Felix getting the lift in return, he does get his score. 3-0 lead for Luca Felix. Good lift in return here on the edge, making sure to secure his takedown, trying to kind of wear on Bollinger, the true freshman. Felix, the two-time West Virginia State champion before his time here at NC State, was a Fargo All-American, took 6th in 2022. Bollinger was a New England champion from Milford, Mass., the 3-time Division II Massachusetts State champion. Looks Looks like we're going to get a fresh restart here. Felix with 32 seconds of riding time, 1:55 left in the first period. Bollinger looking for a better result than his beloved and my beloved New England Patriots had on Sunday here. He's going to have to get a comeback. Felix doing a nice job on top, near wrist ride. Bollinger out though. Good job clearing his wrist. Looks for an elbow clear. Both these guys wrestling with light hands so far, looking for that hand fight, kind of faking, pulling their hands off, trying to quickly change pressure. A lot of action though, low scoring 3-1, but both these guys getting after it. And shot to that right leg. Felix is going to end up catching that back ankle, and that's going to be 3. 6-1 lead here. 40 seconds to go in the first period. Felix is going to go over a minute of riding time, and he's captured a cross wrist. Switches for the opposite side cross wrist. Bollinger looking for a restart. We're going to get one with 16 seconds left to go in the first period. Luca Felix with a 6-1 lead for the Wolfpack. Kind of short sit into a knee slide. Felix does a nice job catching the near wrist. And that's how we're going to finish the first period. 6-1 lead for Luca Felix, 1:31 of riding time. And he'll have choice, which he defers. Duke will go underneath as we start the second period. Caution on Felix there, jumping the gun. We're going to have to fix the clock here. Felix with a spiral, trying to get this near wrist ride. Bollinger goes to a short sit. Head lever from Felix. We've seen this a lot from NC State tonight. Head right, kind of in the back of the tricep, armpit area. Off the tight waist, getting to a breakdown, and then kind of building up. Bollinger able to clear the tight waist. He gets to his feet off a knee slide, and he's out. 6-2 lead for Luca Felix. 2 minutes and 3 seconds of riding time. Almost a minute through here in the second period. Bollinger has started to pick up his own pace. Felix kind of steers him off. Reshot from Felix after the shot from Bollinger. Another shot from Felix. Bollinger ends up running and catching a leg. Astutely brings Felix back in, whose foot nearly hit the wood. We may see Felix try for a low ankle pick here. And his foot hits the wood there, out of bounds. Action call from the official. That signal of kind of his hand making almost that gesture to kind of come through a door, meaning action, no stall call. Pace from Duke's Mikey Bullinger has picked up. Felix with a reshot off of Bullinger's low attack. Under 10 seconds left in the second period. Likely to finish this period with a 6-2 lead for Luca Felix, who also has 2 minutes and 11 seconds of riding time. Felix with his choice is going to go underneath. I think Bullinger is going to think about just cutting him loose. Optional start. Felix is out. He's up 7-2, effectively 8-2 given the riding time here. Shot from Bullinger. Felix trying to steer him into a go behind. Bullinger back to his feet. Bullinger really picking up the hand fight here. He's looking to attack mainly this left leg of Luca Felix, it seems like. Duke bench and fans calling for stalling. Another shot from Bullinger may get the official onto Felix's case, not quite. 50 seconds to go. Luca Felix in short offense. Bullinger clears that out, reshoots. Felix catches the near side ankle looking for a go behind. Bullinger steps up. Felix in on this single leg, and he finishes it for 3. 10-2 lead. He's back in the top position. He has riding time secured. He's effectively up 11-2. Escape from Mikey Bullinger. 10-3, Luca Felix. To go. Bullinger needs a takedown to prevent the major decision. If Felix just holds position here, he's going to get another major decision for the Wolfpack. And that's how we're going to finish. Luca Felix got out to a great start in the first period. He ends up winning 11-3 with riding time. Another major decision for the Wolfpack as they take a 17-3 lead in this match. We're going to get another look at a talented Wolfpack wrestler, true freshman Will Denny. 14-3 on the season, ranked 10th in the country on Intermat. He's going to take on Penn State transfer Aurelius Dunbar, the grad student from Greencastle, Pennsylvania, here at 165 pounds for Duke. Denny has really been impressive. A high-level prospect for NC State, a really good freestylers as Dunbar gets in on a re-attack, and Denny feeds him the hips, gets to a crossface near ankle and scores 3. Denny has wins over Ryan Burton of Virginia Tech, another top 15 wrestler. Ryder Downey, who's been up in the top 5 at both 157 and 165 in his career, and NCAA qualifiers Thomas Snipes and Patty Gallagher. Denny was a 3-time state champion in Illinois, a U20 Pan American champion. Dunbar was part of multiple national championship teams at Penn State. He's 5-6 on the season. He was a 4-time national prep All-American before his time at Penn State. Denny doing a nice job just floating with this tight waist. It's very fluid wrestling here, top position. Dunbar goes for an inside sit, or inside switch, I should say, excuse me. Denny re-switches, they go out of bounds, and we get a restart. Minute 59 left in the first period, 46 seconds of riding time for Will Denny of NC State. Then he goes to this thigh pry. We've seen a lot of this tripod stand up from both teams tonight. Denny with the kind of crab ride. Dunbar rolls through it. Again, going for this crab ride half. Dunbar rolls through and he's out. 3-1 lead for Will Denny, 1:20 seconds of riding time. Another shot from Denny. That is 3. Feet are inbounds. Lanham is going to throw the brick. Threw it nearly to the entire NC State bench there. He's been frustrated with a lot of these takedown calls tonight. They're going to wipe the takedown off the board. Looks like they were out of bounds, and Dunbar hit the stanchion, so no need to challenge. Heavy hands from Will Denny. You could hear that from here. Shot from Denny, re-attack from Dunbar. Neither gets to a leg. Denny's really been eating up space here. He's putting Dunbar on the edge. Action call. NC State fans here yelling for stalling. Good snap through from Will Denny there. Comes to this 2-on-1 tie. And again, he's been the one really stalking Dunbar. Stalling on Dunbar as I say that. Denny's caught a leg. Dunbar with an underhook. Nice job by Denny. Kind of reached through with a knee tap. Dunbar game to it. Under a second left in this period. 3-1 lead for Denny. 1:21 of riding time. Dunbar with choice to start the second. He's going to go underneath. Denny's been really impressive for a true freshman. Very physical at this weight at 165. Not an easy weight to come into college and start to kind of dictate your pace, dictate your physicality. Good breakdown. He's done a nice job kind of floating with this tight waist. Every time Dunbar gets to his base, then he gets that tight waist back in. Good job going down to that far ankle, getting another return, and gets right back to this tight waist with his left arm. This just really wears on you if you're Dunbar. As Denny throws in a leg ride. It's shallow. Dunbar clears it. Denny's into this ankle hook. And he's looking for this claw ride tilt. And now he's come into a left side leg ride. They go out of bounds. 1:01 left in this period. 2 minutes and 14 seconds of riding time for Will Denny. He looks over at his corner, Coach Zach Esposito, saying, I'd like to let him loose and work from my feet. And Espo says, why not? Cuts Dunbar, 3-2 lead for Denny. Oh, nice double. Waited for Dunbar to pop back up after the fake. Clean finish. 6-2 lead for Will Denny. Cuts Dunbar loose. Takes him out of bounds. Good head position there. Head right in the clavicle. Denny's done a nice job getting his hands inside. Goes for a misdirection. Dunbar with a reshot. He's in for the second time on this high crotch. And he's going to score this. Nice work from Aurelius Dunbar. This match is now tied 6-6. Denny with over 2 minutes of riding time, so he effectively has the lead. A really good re-attack from Aurelius Dunbar. Denny's really been the one dictating pace. You can see Dunbar gets in on this re-attack. He's game to Denny's hips. Ends up taking him over. Just kind of goes over towards his back, puts Denny on his own back, who squares up and gives up the 3. Dunbar cuts him loose. Like a mouth guard hit the mat. Dunbar just pops it right back into his mouth. 7-6 lead for Will Denny. Denny with another shot, re-shot on the low double. That's just good wrestling to try to dictate this match. 10-6, now 10-7 lead for Will Denny, who's now the one again stalking on the attack. Dunbar's best looks have been re-attack high crotches off Denny attacks. Denny again stays low, coils himself up like a cobra, and gets to that clean open double. 3 times now he's been able to kind of keep position low, re-attack with this double and score, and he cuts Dunbar right away. He's got a 5-point lead, and now he's chasing a major in a match that was tied going to the 3rd period. Denny back to this 2-on-1 tie. He's going to push Dunbar out of bounds. Going to be an action call. NC State was looking for a stall call there. It's 14-8, 54.4 to go. Denny with an outside sweep, scores it cleanly. And he cuts Dunbar again. He's got an 8-point lead. He's locked up riding, so effectively a 9-point lead. Again, he's pushing Dunbar to the edge, looking for another score here at 165. Dunbar with a head outside shot. Nothing doing. Denny feeds him the hips. Quick go behind, and he's going to cut him again. It's going to be 20-10. Effectively 21-10. This was a 6-6 match entering the 3rd period. Denny has put up 14 points in this period. Goes for an ankle pick there, gets to a 2-on-1. This is gonna be the win for Denny, 21-10. A 14-point 3rd period for Will Denny. Another major decision for NC State. They lead Duke 21-3. We move to 174 pounds. 23rd ranked Aiden Wallace for Duke, the redshirt sophomore from Bergen Catholic. 24-3 on the season. Really has been a staple for Duke. No Maddie Singleton tonight for NC State. We're going to see Latrell Schaefer, 6-5, the redshirt freshman from Bon Air, Georgia. Schaefer filling in for Maddie Singleton, the returning ACC champion and NCAA All-American. Good opportunity for him here against the nationally ranked Aiden Wallace. Comes to Duke from the powerhouse Bergen Catholic. Wallace was 22-10 on the season last year. Another 20-plus win season for the redshirt sophomore. He was 2nd in the Southern Scuffle this year. He's got wins over multiple NCAA qualifiers as he gets to this leg attack on the left. Schaefer tried to throw a whizzer. Wallace does a nice job elevating this leg. Going to step out in front and kind of try to jack this leg up as he goes for this trip. Schaefer's done a nice job with his balance. Wallace steps across, and that's the three-point takedown. And Wallace really is effective here from the top position if he catches your wrist. He's gonna go for this roll through tilt, and that's gonna be backs. This is gonna be a full set for Aiden Wallace. That's Jersey tough wrestling, Blue Devil tough wrestling from Wallace. If he catches your wrist, you're in big trouble. He's looking for another set, and he's gonna get, that's gonna be a 2 count it looks like. He's gonna look for a full set here. Wallace is gonna take an 11-0 lead 2 minutes into the first period. Assuming this week he was expecting to wrestle the ACC champ, a good measuring stick for him, and he's taking it out here on Schaefer. Schaefer's gonna have to do a better job of not getting his wrist caught. We see this sometimes, guys end up just extending their arms over their head, sometimes will lock their hands on bottom. Wallace catches this wrist again. He's gonna try to roll through here on the edge. Schaefer is gonna try to crawl out of bounds. 20 seconds left in the first period. Wallace gives up the wrist to stay in bounds. 10 to go here. Aiden Wallace leads 11-0 here at 174. He's gonna close out this period in the top position. Gonna get a restart. 2.6 to go. Wallace rolls out his hands. A lot of work for his forearms. First period right out for Wallace. He enters the second period with 1:50 of riding time and an 11-0 lead. And they're gonna put Schaefer back underneath. Looking to challenge himself, force himself to get out. As we see Aiden Wallace last year at 165 pounds, 22-10 record on the season. Did qualify the weight for the ACC to get a bid to the national tournament, had that stolen at the ACC tournament. He's looking to get to Cleveland this year. This is a good weight in the ACC, good competitive weight. Singleton for NC State had been the favorite, got beat by Luca Augustine of Pitt last week. Wallace had a close match with Augustine in the duel between Duke and Pitt. See Sergio Desiante for Virginia Tech in this weight. Nick Hamilton, former ACC champion at 165 pounds. Really should see good action in Blacksburg in a few weeks. Wallace now looking for this crossface. Again, catching a wrist. He's gonna work this roll through tilt again, it looks like. Schaefer did a nice job clearing that wrist as Wallace goes back to the near side, looking for a hammer lock, and he's got it. This is further trouble for Latrell Schaefer. Stalling on Schaefer on bottom. Wallace works to this bar. Wallace reinforces this bar. He's gonna look for a bar half and he's gonna run it. Schaefer clears the bar. Wallace gets back to cover hips. He's gonna finish this second period in the top position as he attempts a late roll through tilt. Not gonna have enough time. 11-0 lead going to the third period. 3 minutes and 50 seconds of riding time for Aiden Wallace. He's gonna go underneath. He's bleeding now. Athletic training staff gonna work on that nosebleed. Get a good look at Aiden Wallace. Assistant coach Cody Russell been the best wrestling we've seen so far from a Blue Devil tonight. As we deal with this blood time, looking at the national landscape, Penn State takes on Ohio State this evening. Both teams undefeated. Ohio State, the national dual champion, over on Big Ten Network. And Virginia Tech, as we said, host UNC with a win tonight. They'll clinch a share of the ACC dual title. Virginia Tech will also host Oklahoma State in Blacksburg on Sunday, a huge test for the Hokies, who look to push for a trophy this year. The Hokies are really loading up. They're bringing in a great recruiting class as well as Wallace gets out. Really competitive in the ACC. Two programs that have been on the rise at NC State and Virginia Tech. NC State themselves will be bringing in a talented recruiting class. Daniel Zepeda, true freshman this year, had looked fantastic for NC State as Schaefer scores a takedown, and he's going to cut Wallace. 12-3 lead. Good action for Schaefer. Minute 15 to go. As mentioned before, Zepeda had looked really good for NC State at 157, season-ending injury. But this conference, 5 of the 7 teams ranked nationally. Really great wrestling here in the ACC. You get a great education as well. We're under a minute here in the third period. 13-3 lead for Aiden Wallace. Latrell Schaefer's had his best period of the match as he looks for a duck there. 40 to go. Wallace with a little half shot there. 30 to go. He leads 13-3. Effectively 14-3 with the riding. Schaefer with the shot. Good action from Latrell Schaefer. A lot of pride from him. Would have been easy to kind of, run this third period. He goes out and gets a takedown, and he's been really pushing the action. A reshot from Schaefer. Out of bounds as Wallace spins out. 6 to go. 13-3, effectively 14-3 for Aiden Wallace. Ooh, caution on Wallace. He goes for a little surprise low attack. This is going to finish 14-3. A win for Duke's Aiden Wallace here at 174 pounds. The major decision. NC State leads the duel 21-7. Wallace moves to 25-3 on the season to move to 184 pounds. Don Cates for the Wolfpack, the 6th year from Durham, North Carolina, wrestling back home for NC State against David Hussey, 184 pounds for Duke. Hussey out of Lincroft, New Jersey, the junior, 3-13 on the season. This will be a fun match. Hussey likes to get in scrambles. Cates very solid. Former starter at 165 pounds for the Wolfpack. He's up at 184 this season. Nice elbow clear to a double. Again, where reaction time comes into play, and reaction time is very subjective. Cates covers both legs. Hussey's able to get his hips back up within the discretion of the official, so no takedown. Cates with a low head inside single. Hussey sprawls out, takes an inside reach of his own. We're on the edge. We're going to get a stalemate. 2 minutes left in the first period, 0-0. Good attacks from each wrestler. Cates has been in deep on Hussey's legs twice. Cates again with an outside shot. Hussey with a reshot to a double of his own. Kind of like Simon says right now. One guy takes one attack, the other guy throws back the same attack. Cates with short offense with this front head. Another stalemate, minute 32 to go here in the first period. 0-0 here at 184 pounds. NC State leads this duel 21-7. Cates with another elbow clear, 2 double, nothing from the official. I think Papalizio is going to throw the brick. This is going to be close. There's a good argument here that Cates had established at least brief enough control where that could have been a takedown. It's going to be a stalemate. Coach Pop, the skip, the CEO, throws the brick. Brick stays on his own side, didn't quite launch it as far as Glenn Lanham. And the officials are going to take a look at this. This is going to be a tough one. So Cates, nice elbow clear, covers both legs. This is all becomes very subjective. So Hussey reacts, ends up sitting through and clearing that far ankle. The question for the officials is, did Cates control that ankle long enough with Hussey on his butt that that's going to be scored as a takedown? Really looked like Cates was trying to climb up the body to get to the top position. Came up to the hip, and Hussey did a nice job sitting through and is going to make this one challenging on the officials. I personally think this is a takedown, just given both legs are controlled. Hussey's on his butt. He has the initial reaction. Cates is still controlling both legs at that point. And then as he climbed to a hip, Hussey was able to clear his foot. Argument being that initial reaction was actually stopped by Cates. You know, within this sport, control, folk style is really about control. Control can be very brief, and that's the difficult thing for these officials to kind of react to. Not going to call it a takedown. Going to stick with the original call. That's often what we see in college wrestling. Perhaps some of this is my bias from wrestling back in 2015 where that was a clear takedown. Difficult calls. We've seen that all throughout the season, especially at 184. We've seen it a couple times with Gabe Arnold of Iowa wrestling Max McAnally, one that wasn't called a takedown. That to me was more convincing than that one there. And one where Gabe Arnold lost a challenge. Dylan Fishback ended up winning that match. Enough about the Big Ten, though. We're heating things up in the ACC. 0-0 at 184 pounds. Cates in on it again on this right leg of Hussey. This time comes up to the body. Hussey goes, tries to get this kind of crotch lift position. Cates' head is buried. No score here. Good job by David Hussey to fight off a takedown. Cates has been in deep about 5 different times, but it's a 0-0 score through the first period. Hussey's going to go underneath, try to establish a lead. Cates again goes to this double thigh pry. We've seen this from NC State as well tonight, going to a thigh pry, up to a spiral or a claw ride. Hussey does a nice job, knee sliding up, clearing hands. 1-0 lead, Cates with 9 seconds of riding time. Hussey's got to do a better job kind of trying to control some of the hands of Cates, kind of eating space. Cates has gotten to legs from the open as well as from that elbow clear. Update for those of you watching here, Virginia Tech 3-0 lead over North Carolina as they've started that Friday night duel in Blacksburg. NC State second in the ACC dual rankings. Both these teams on the mat. Not really a fan of the Tar Heels down the road, but it would help NC State maintain their ACC dual dominance if North Carolina could pull off the upset over the Hokies. Stall call, Cates goes to the body. This is a nice adjustment. Hussey game to it. Action call. Hussey did get hit for stalling. Warranted. Cates has taken about 10 different shots here. Hussey's done a nice job squaring his hips to prevent these scores, scrambling just enough. But Cates has really controlled the action from neutral. Another shot attempt from Cates. Hussey's gonna have to put something out there eventually. We're gonna go to the third period. It's a 1-0 lead for David Hussey. Speaking of the ACC standings, looking at them now, Virginia Tech undefeated in the conference, held that dual win over NC State. The Wolfpack 4-1, and a collection of teams in the middle with Pitt, North Carolina, and Stanford all at 2-2. Pitt travels to Stanford on Sunday. Great dual action between two ranked teams as Cates escapes. It's a 1-1 match here in the third period. We talked about the Hokies can clinch at least a share of the ACC title in the dual season with a win over the Tar Heels. Hussey does have a stall call for Duke, 1-1 match. Cates with an ankle pick, so he hits that elbow clear, goes to an ankle pick, and he's gonna get back points. Good adjustment from Don Cates. Had worked in that elbow clear twice, gotten to a low double or the single on that side, waits for Hussey to react, goes to a low single, climbs up to the body and gets back points. He jumps out to a 7-1 lead in the third period with a minute to go, and he is building riding time. Really good adjustment from Don Cates, smart wrestling, taking in the data of how Hussey was wrestling, makes a slight adjustment to his elbow clear and scores big. 54 to go here, 7-1 lead for Cates for the Wolfpack. Hussey gets to his feet. Goes for a switch there on the Cates return. Cates catches a cross wrist. See Cates cut him and go for a takedown to try to hunt the major here. 20 to go, 7-2 lead. Cates is gonna lock in riding time shortly. He's up 8-2. A takedown would give him the major decision here. Goes for short offense. Hussey ends up in on a leg. This is how we're gonna end up finishing this match. It's gonna be an 8-2 win at 184 for Don Cates. The Wolfpack take a 24-7 lead as they cinch the dual win over the Blue Devils. 197 next. We move now to 197 pounds. Good matchup here. For NC State, it's the transfer from the Citadel, the 2025 NCAA qualifier, Patrick Brophy, the redshirt sophomore. He's going to take on the redshirt freshman out of Chicago, Illinois for Duke, Owen McGrory, 5-15 on the season. Brophy had his breakout year last year at the Citadel. Ended up going 1-2 at the national tournament. Had a huge upset over Luke Serber of Oklahoma State. to really kind of kick the event off. Hasn't quite had that form yet for the Wolfpack. New setting for him. He's looking to climb his way back into the national rankings and get back to the NCAA tournament. Good opportunity for Owen McGrory, who's in on a shot, to take on an NCAA qualifier. Guy who's wrestled a lot of the best guys in the country through his career. Brophy very long at this weight. At 197, the bigger man than McGrory. Still developing into a 197 pounder. An update from Blacksburg. The Hokies are up 8-0 over the North Carolina Tar Heels. Superstar freshman Aaron Seidel with a tech fall at 133. Dylan Campbell goes down for the Hokies at 133, and Seidel takes off his red shirt and may just be a national title contender right out of the gate. Hokies up 8-0 as NC State here wrestles against Duke. Brophy clears that hand off the shot. He's going to get a go behind. That's going to be a three-point takedown as McGrory rolls. Brophy game to it, comes to this near wrist ride and gets to work from the top position. Brophy had a barn burner in the duel against the Hokies for the Wolfpack. Was leading Sonny Sasso. Sasso ended up getting a third period takedown and a ride to win to end up beating Brophy. Brophy does have a prior win over Sonny Sasso last year while wrestling for the Citadel. Brophy goes for this roll through tilt. They go out of bounds. We're going to get a restart. 54.6 seconds to go in the first period. Patrick Brophy leads 3-0. Brophy with a spiral ride. McGrory goes to this tripod stand-up. Brophy is from the Carolinas, from Chapin, South Carolina. Not as many Division I guys come from South Carolina, but they've had more of an influx in recent years. TJ Dudley, the multiple-time All-American for Nebraska, of note from South Carolina. Brophy doing a nice job with this ride as he goes up over a minute of riding time. Takes a peek at the clock. To go in the first period. 3-0 lead for Patrick Brophy. Looks like he's going to ride out the period from top. Going to the second period with about a minute and a half of riding time. 3-0 lead and the choice. Brophy goes right to the underneath position. McGrory will take top. Shouldn't say take top. McGrory will set on top. Brophy with a knee slide, changeover. He's going to get right out. Back to Stock and McGrory. Brophy really stalking with this collar tie. Goes for a post single. McGrory reshots, and a reshot from Brophy with a score. 7-0 lead for Patrick Brophy. Got a tight waist. Short spiral to this near wrist ride, which is where he was working from in the first period. Snub ride here from Brophy. Good job getting his right knee out in front of McGrory's left knee to try to get that breakdown. Try to roll that wrist out. McGrory looked like he might have been going for something big like an elevator. Brophy's game to it and he cuts him. 7-1 lead for Patrick Brophy, 2:11 of riding time, 40 to go in the second period. Would expect a flurry of attacks here from Patrick Brophy, given he set McGrory free. Elbow clear from Brophy. McGrory circles out, another elbow clear. Head inside. Brophy ends up down, belly down on the mat, and a head outside single. Crotch lift from McGrory. We're going to finish this period here. 7-1 lead for Patrick Brophy. 2 minutes and 11 seconds of riding time. McGrory's going to have choice. He's going to go underneath. Brophy again with this short spiral ride, looking for this near wrist. You can see the head pressure here from Patrick Brophy, trying to keep McGrory's body posture towards the mat. Big lift and return. Pop from some of the Wolfpack crowd, as then Brophy lets him loose. 7-3 Patrick Brophy. 2 minutes and 34 seconds of riding time. I should say 7-2. Brophy's going to try to stalk this major. He's got the riding time secured. He's effectively up 8-2. Really working on this elbow clear. Nice job to run behind. McGrory ends up rolling through. Brophy clears the ankle there. He takes the 10-2 lead. And he's going to look for another takedown here. 10-3 lead. Effectively 11-3, so Brophy does currently have the major. Stalling on McGrory, another elbow clear from Brophy. He jumps over the top, gets a go behind. Good side-to-side wrestling from Pat Brophy. Change in pressure, change in direction. 13-3 lead. Looks like Brophy's gonna just try to ride this period out. Got this major secured, unless something big happens for McGrory. McGrory rolls Granby. Brophy sets him free, lets him just roll out and recovers. Patrick Brophy is going to win this match 14-3 at 197 for the Wolfpack. Good performance at 197 pounds. NC State takes the lead 28-7. As we move towards heavyweight. Good look there at Brophy. Move to the marquee match of the night. Undefeated Isaac Trumbull, the returning All-American, took 4th at the NCAA championships last year, ranked 2nd in the country. Takes on 23rd ranked Connor Barquette for Duke, 18-4 on the season, the returning NCAA qualifier. Trumbull comes to NC State from Springfield, Nebraska, the home of the Matt Durham, Jeremy Euster-Weeman. He's a 3-time NCAA qualifier. As I said, took 4th at the NCAAs last year, and he did that with a torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus. Put himself through quite a workout warming up for this match. Was out on the mat in his full singlet at 6 p.m. getting ready for this one. Barquette qualified for the NCAAs last year, was 4th at the U23 Freestyle Nationals in the offseason. He's been ranked as high as 17th in the country. Nice snap from Trumbull as he goes for kind of a short drag to a go behind. Both of these guys started their careers at 197 pounds. Barquette goes to his hook. That's where he likes to work from his offense. Trumbull's been the one putting a lot of pressure. Stalling on Barquette. And he was backing out there. 1:54 left in the first period. Trumbull has a big frame, very long. Kind of in this new age of athletic heavyweights. Trumbull's a very good freestyler as well. He's made the finals of Final X, the freestyle nationals for the senior team, as he gets to a head inside single. Kind of ended up, was on his feet with kind of a snatch single, ended up down on the mat. Really nice job for Trumbull to suck that in, kind of get it close to his chest, get back to his feet, and finish his takedown. He takes a 3-0 lead. And this is where he actually does a ton of damage. Very tough in the top position, turns a lot of guys as a pinner for NC State. Barquette comes to Duke from West Lafayette, Indiana. As we said, 18-4 on the season. Multiple losses to guys in the top 16 in the country. Had an overtime match with ACC champion Dayton Pitzer. Was close to stealing that one over Pitzer. Was Duke's only NCAA qualifier last year. He's looking to get back to Cleveland this year as Trumbull with a nice return. Trumbull just puts a lot of pressure on you. Chest pressure, he does a good job kind of hooking that ankle, using that ankle hook to elevate the back leg to get his leg in when he wants to get to a leg ride. .25 to go. Barquette with a changeover. Trumbull with forward pressure. Trumbull catches a cross wrist. And there comes the leg from Trumbull. Barquette sits to his hip. We're gonna finish the first period, 3-0 lead for Isaac Trumbull, 1:18 of riding time. Really solid first period as we see Trumbull versus the ACC this season, a fall over Brennan Morgan, bonus points over Nolan Neves, a 7-0 shutout of Jimmy Mullen, ACC finalist. Closest match was a 5-2 victory over returning ACC champion Dayton Pitzer. Heavyweight in the ACC, another weight class this year with a number of ranked wrestlers. See Trumbull, Pitzer, Neves, Jimmy Mullen for Virginia Tech's a guy who the Hokies hope is on the podium. Barquette in the top 20, a guy who Duke hopes makes a big run. And Brennan Morgan's another guy for UVA, very talented, very long at heavyweight, who you could see in the field in Cleveland. Should be a fun ACC championships in Blacksburg on March 8th as Barquette looks for that underhook to get to his attack. Trumbull has escaped this period. Trumbull again. Trumbull has ended up locking his hands. He's got those long arms. And he just sucks Barquette into his chest again. I mean, he's extended there at heavyweight. Good strength, good job with his knee slide. Ended up finishing that takedown. He's gonna cut Barquette. A 7-1 lead for Isaac Trumbull. Again, controlling this right side collar tie for Trumbull. He's gotten to this kind of snatch single where he's gone to this, converted it into a sweep single. Good finish there, hooks the ankle. Good head pressure on the knee from Trumbull. He finishes and he catches Barquette's leg there. 10 seconds to go in the second period. It's gonna be hard for Trumbull to capitalize on that position as he clears the foot. 10-1 lead, a minute 32 of riding time for Isaac Trumbull. Good job again, sucking this leg up towards his chest, getting it tight to his body and scoring. And then again, look at that ankle hook there. Trumbull does a nice job with his left leg hooking Barquette's ankle. Comes with his left arm and actually catches Barquette's right foot, pulls it across the opposite side hamstring, finishes that score. Trumbull cuts Barquette. We're neutral, 10-2 in the third period. Trumbull with 1:32 of riding time. Trumbull attacks the opposite side and something happened. Maybe a thumb to the eye. He kind of bailed on that position very quickly. Great job by our production staff and camera crew to kind of get a look at this. Looks like there may be something kind of under the eye. That eye started to kind of swell a little bit, it looked like on camera. Gonna get another look at this. Trumbull goes for that outside step. May have been kind of the knee that he hit. It's hard to tell, but he reacted very quickly and went right up to that right eye. Because Trumbull took injury time, Barquette does get choice. And you can see that. There's a clear kind of mark underneath the right eye of Isaac Trumbull, and that eye is starting to swell. Trumbull goes back to work in the top position, throws a leg. It's kind of one of the odd things about wrestling. Injury time gets penalized. There's a means of, as Trumbull throws a leg, climbs back on top as Barquette tries to clear the leg. Good job clearing the leg by Barquette, and he's out. That's good work on bottom from Barquette, but injury time to try to prevent people from using it for rest is penalized with choice, even if it's kind of an episode like that where somebody's can't see. The referee has to stop it and has discretion. It actually happened to Jacob Casper at the NCAA tournament. Took a thumb to the eye in the medal round against Nick Nevels. In overtime, Nevels ended up taking bottom and escaped for the win. We're at 40 seconds now, 10-3 lead. Trumbull's locked up riding, so he is up 11-3. As long as he does not give up a takedown, he's going to get another major decision. It's been a better period for Barquette from a movement standpoint. Did a nice job to clear Trumbull's legs from top. Trumbull again with a reshot. Barquette with more action. Barquette's trying to run down this leg, prove something to himself. Trumbull's going to hold this front headlock. He's going to win this one 11-3. The Wolfpack are going to win this duel 32-7 over the Blue Devils here in Durham. Excellent performance from Isaac Trumbull. The ranked guys for NC State getting it done. New look lineup. NC State will move to 5-1 in the ACC. Solidly second place in the conference behind the Virginia Tech Hokies as they win over the Duke Blue Devils. I'd like to thank you for joining us. My name's Dylan Ryan. We've got the wonderful Blake Woodard here in production. The Wolfpack win 32-7 over the Blue Devils here on Friday Night Duels on ACC Network Extra.